you go. Hey guys, my name is Pastor Dustin. VBS is just a few short days away now. We're a week away. We're so excited that we're here. This year's VBS, the theme is designed in His image. We are at Origins Middle School this year, and we're going to be doing a science fair. And so there's 4 contestants in the science fair, and during the science fair, they're going to go back in time. One of the machines is the time machine. They're going to go back in time. We're going to see Samson and how God designed Samson in His image, and he was uniquely and wonderfully created. And as long as Samson stayed focused on what God had for him, amazing things happened. But as soon as he lost sight of that and he started looking at those around him and took his eyes off of God, everything fell apart for him. But we love Samson as a restoration story, right? And so it's not Jonah at the end of the hill, and that's where it ends on a sad note, but we see God restore Samson back, gives him his power one more time. Amazing things happen. And we're going to learn that we are uniquely and wonderfully made. And we're going to, hopefully, every kid walks away with this picture of the fact that God loves them and that they aren't outsiders, but they are uniquely created in God's image. And so that is our theme. Our verse is Psalm 139:14. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it well. So.
Yes. And so the dates are June 19th through the 22nd. So it runs Monday through Thursday. And it's the VBS times are still 6 to 9 each night. Kids typically arrive a little bit early, or some coming in a little late, but then the parents will pick up at 9 o'clock. And we do serve a volunteer dinner that is at 5 o'clock each evening that our wonderful Miss Brandy already has plans for each evening that we have there. So do you want me to go ahead and
No, that's okay. I'll just keep rotating now.
Okay.
Our daily themes each day. Monday is I can trust God because I am made in His image. And that's going to be the call and response of this. Is there's a call, and then the response is always I am made in His image. And so it's the Monday is I can trust God because I'm made in His image. Tuesday is God gives me power because I'm made in His image. Wednesday is God gives me wisdom. I am made in His image. And Thursday is I can be redeemed because I am made in His image. So those are the 4 days and their call and response. So as each day we're going to teach the kids new lines. And what I want you as teachers to be able to say is I can trust God because, and then their response to you is I am made in His image. And so we'll do that over and over.
Yes. And so our leaders this year, we broke up the groups for our Bible story. So we have Jody Brownlee, who is already one of our K1 teachers. She'll be, again, working with K1 for the Bible story that you can see that's on the sheet that says the Bible themes and story. We have Courtney Palmer that she's going to teach the 2nd and 3rd graders. And then we have Miss Smead that will be doing 4th and 5th grade. Snacks this year, the lead volunteer will be Nikki Ross. And then we, of course, have a lot of other volunteers coming under her. Missions is Susan Parsons. She did that last year as well. Our science lab, that's what we're calling it this year. That's our craft station. And games is Chris Lunsford. Our worship for during the times of the service when the kids are at the beginning and then when they come back to the end are Danny and his team. We have a song station that will be Miss Shauna, woohoo, over here. And then our, again, volunteer food is Brandy Johnson.
That's right. So I'm going to go through what expectations of leaders that we have for you. First is to stay connected with the kids. The whole purpose you're coming is to be connected with these kiddos as they're here. We want you to build relationships with the kids. We want you to get to know them. And it's unrealistic to think that you're going to learn 300 kids' names. But if you're responsible for a small group of kids, this year we're breaking each grade level into 4 smaller groups. We're going to within kindergarten, we're going to have the red group, the blue group, the purple group, and the green, or green and yellow. I don't know, whatever. So we're actually going to put pillowcases on the 2 outside chairs in each row, and so that'll be the red row and the blue row. And so if you're a red leader for kindergarten, my encouragement is try to get to know each kid's name and then one fact about them. So if you learn that Tommy plays football, every day you can ask him, hey, did you play football today? How's that going? And then Tommy's going to think, wow, you really care about me. You know my name, and you know that I like football or whatever it is. So find the name and one fact about each kid. So we want to connect with the kids. The second thing, we want to communicate with volunteers. So if you're a leader, we want to make sure that you're reaching out to your volunteers, that we're communicating well. Volunteers, if you're not able to make it one day, please reach out and communicate with your leaders. We are expecting you to be there. We have 350 kids, and if you can't make it a night, it's okay. We know life happens. Just let us know, let your leaders know, so we can make arrangements to fill gaps that need to be filled. The third one is we want to be prepared, and then we want the time requirements to be fulfilled. So being prepared, know what you're doing each day, specifically leaders, and a volunteer, when you get there, make sure you're finding out, hey, what are we doing today, leader? If you're in the lab, ask them, what are we doing today, and how can I be assisting here? If you're in the song station, Miss Shauna, you know kind of what we're doing and what Miss Shauna's needing of you. VBS actually starts at, the dinner's at 5. It actually begins at 6 o'clock. We need to make sure that if we're rolling in at 6 o'clock, I mean, music's going, things are happening, and we really need us in place, greeting kids as they're coming in. And so if you're in the lab section and we get everything filled up and you're kind of ready to go, come into the main worship center, worship with the kids, kind of help out with that process as well, and make sure that we're there. So it starts at 6, so try to be there as best as you can, 15 minutes early for sure. Yes. The next thing is, the biggest thing you can do to get ready for this is to pray. Like, prayer is not our last resort, it's our first and strongest resort. So we want to be praying not only for the leaders, we want to be for the actors that are acting in this, that they can stay focused and memorize their lines and they're there and present, the safety of all of the volunteers as we're driving back and forth. But ultimately, we're praying for the hearts of these kids. That's why we're doing all of this. It's not just to give up. It's not babysitting. It's not childcare. It's truly to change the trajectory of kids and their spiritual walks forever. And so I firmly believe there will be children that will make eternal decisions at our VBS this year. And so that's why we do all of this. And so everything you're doing, whether you're preparing food for volunteers or you're playing games with kids or you're singing songs with kids or you're building crafts with kids, it's all going towards that purpose.
And I think pray for you within your own words to be able to talk to the kids, that you give them, if they're hurting, the right word that they need that day, or just to have those God conversations like we've learned about from Deuteronomy. When I walk and when I rise, that you're doing the same thing with these kiddos here, because then they can tell their parents who might not attend church either, who might not know about Christ, so that we can reach them as well. So.
Perfect.
All right, if you flip over on the back, as you know, we try to relate our snacks and crafts, everything with our Bible story, Bible theme. So we have on Monday, it's actually our science, just to kind of introduce, because we're at the science fair. We have science beaker sugar cookies that the kids will be decorating and kind of making their own, again, in their own image, with their own creative flair. Thankfully, Miss Amanda Rosales is going to make us some wonderful sugar cookies. And then Tuesday, we have our pretzel and cheese cubes for Samson for his strength, because God gives us power, and so they can flex their muscles with their little dumbbells they're going to make. Wednesday is going to be the scroll. It's veggie straws with fruit roll-ups that they get to make their own scroll. And then Thursday, they're going to have a representation of Samson knocking down the pillars, which they will see in the skit as well. And it will be Jell-O with the pretzel rods and one of those giant Sour Patch Kids for Samson. So hopefully they'll enjoy that. So
should be a good time. All right, so in the lab, the craft section on Monday, we're going to make fingerprint magnet art. So we have round discs of paper, and they're going to put their thumbprint on it using an ink pad, and then we're going to glue that to the back of a flat marble. So it's 1-inch marble, it's flat, it's clear, and that magnifies the image that's glued. So we'll be able to see their thumbprint, and then we're going to put a magnet behind that, and they can take it home, put it on their fridge, and they can show that God uniquely made each of us with our fingerprints. And so that's the first craft. The second one, God's power makes me pop. Film canisters, Alka-Seltzer, water, stickers. It's going to be a fun day. And so they're going to put the Bible verse on the outside, and then they're going to put Alka-Seltzer inside, shake it up, put it upside down, and it blows in the air, and it's super fun. So they're going to love that. Wednesday, we're making plastic water bottle magnet mazes. So they're going to make their own maze. They're going to have a water bottle that's empty. I mean, it's a clear bottle. Inside of it, we're putting a BB. And then they're going to take a Sharpie marker and they're going to draw their own maze on the outside of the bottle. And then they use a magnet on the other side. And they have to follow this plan, just like we're going to see on that third day it is that God gives me wisdom, and following God's plan takes wisdom. And so they're going to build a plan with the maze, and then they're going to guide that little marble through, just like God guides us through life. So they're going to build their own maze. The last day is new creation in Christ, flying butterflies. This is going to be really fun. So these are butterflies that are made by taking flat pieces of paper cut out in the shape of butterfly wings. They're twisted up in the rubber bands and paper clips. So you twist them up, and then when you put them inside of a book, it holds it flat. Well, when you open the book, this butterfly flies up into the air. And so we're talking about how we are a new creation when we put our faith in Christ.
So if you take a look at the schedule, it is a very fast beat schedule. As you know, there's about 15 minutes per each station, but we are able to get through all 5 stations each night. And we feel like breaking up into the smaller groups, like if you're in kindergarten, all of kindergarten will still go to like the lab, but they'll be within their smaller group. And so they'll be able to make sure instead of counting 40 kids in a row, they'll be able to count 10 kids. It'll be a lot easier. So again, volunteers, you're welcome to arrive at 5. If you need to be here earlier, please let one of us know. But we have dinner between 5 and 5:45 for volunteers. The kids begin to arrive between 6 and 6:15. Obviously, the first day we will have, it might be a little bit slower process as we're getting new people that need to sign up and register their kids, because every child will still have a sticker, just like we do for Secure Hallways on Sunday mornings. And then our opening will be in the worship center. If your room is set up, I encourage you to come, because seeing those kids engage in worship, I mean, it's such a wonderful thing to witness and to be a part of. And then they move to each station. There is a little bit of room built in if somebody's a little late getting out. We have about 5 minutes wiggle room, and then again closing is at the end, and then we will move them to a classroom for parents to pick up. If you are a station leader, we encourage you to go to a grade level to help with dismissal. Just because there's a lot of parents, there's a lot of kids to be picked up at once. Again, they each have a sticker, and the parents are required to have a parent sticker to pick up, just like we do on Sundays. But again, the first night, as everybody's getting used to it, it'll take them a few minutes to process them through.
That'll be right. And one thing that we ran into last year, when it comes to pickup, the rooms, sometimes we have to make adjustments as to how we're dismissing kids if the line builds up too long or whatnot. We will have a staff member in each of the pickup locations. If a giant change needs to be made to accommodate the line that's created or whatever, run that idea past the staff member that's going to be in each room. What we ran into last year is that a couple individuals had really good ideas about how they could fix the problem, but when you have conflicting ideas, then we just ran into different people's ideas running into each other. And so we're going to have a staff member there. If you say, I think there's a better way, run that past them. Like, we want to hear those ideas in each of those rooms. But we've done this for a couple of years. We have a pretty good system. But if you do have questions or ideas, we will have a staff member to pick them up. Other than that,
well, and I was going to say for other volunteers, if anyone asks what group, just let them know that will be coming out to them this week. To let them know what group they will be helping in. If you know someone who you have said, hey, come be with me, just let me know, because I have to sort, everyone where they will best fit, we feel like. So
that's right. Fantastic. Well, hey, thank you so much for checking in online. We do have a meeting next Sunday after third service. Again, it is Father's Day. We know you might not be able to make that, so thank you for watching this online. Yes. Be looking at the email that's going to be following and attached to this video. And that way we can fill you in on all the details that happen there.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We'll see y'all. Bye-bye.